Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about something very exciting. The new Merit lip liners came in the mail. You guys know I've been waiting for this, and I have been fine all weekend. I woke up this morning with a pretty bad cold, and I'm more than positive now that I am thinking about what's happening right now. I think I have a low-grade fever. It's okay, it's fine. We're gonna work through it. It's okay. I filming this now because first of all, I'm super excited for these lip liners. For those of you who picked up the holiday edition gift set like 2 years ago, that came with a lip liner, which I have here to show you guys. And since then, I feel like we've all been waiting for these lip liners. My order came with a little postcard letting you know that there's a new little set available where you can get a lip liner and a shade slick of your choice at a discounted price, so definitely check that out. And the back of the card does let you know which color stories match best with which shade slick. So they came out with 4 new shade slick shades, and they have a very ethereal, barely there shimmer effect to them. And I picked up one. So what I did was I picked up one of the duo sets, and then I went ahead and I bought 2 more lip liners. I picked the colors that would suit my skin tone the best. Now, depending on how pigmented these are, I may pick up the other ones, but we're going to be doing lots of comparison swatches, including the new shade slick. I picked up twin set. And I'm gonna compare it to the original formula, and this is in the color taupe. I know they said that the formula is the same, but we're gonna test it out. So because I've been doing nothing but blowing my nose this morning, my skin is extremely dry. And so I'm gonna have to double up. Today I'm gonna go in with my Glow Serum and the Merit Moisturizer. These are 2 products I always have in my rotation. I don't always use them together depending on how oily my skin is or how humid it is outside. I usually just go in with 1 pump of the Glow Serum is more than enough for me, because I have combination oily skin. For those of you who are new here, I know I get a lot of newcomers, so I know I have to repeat this information in each video. That can get a little bit annoying for my regular subscribers, but yes, I have combination acne prone skin, and today is one of those days where I'm gonna need this serum, I'm gonna need this moisturizer. Honestly, I feel like I should have done 2 pumps of that serum, but you know, let's not get overzealous here. The moisturizer, I love this moisturizer. It gives you cashmere skin where it almost looks like, this is the best way I always describe it. It looks like baby skin. You know, their skin is perfectly balanced. Not too much sheen. It's not too matte. It looks real smooth. That's the kind of effect their moisturizer gives, and I love it. So these 2 products have just been a repurchase of mine over and over and over again. So let's go in with the Merit foundation. I'm gonna be using, in case you use me as a shade, I'm your shade twin, I use the color Ecru. And we're just gonna go ahead and sweep this all over the face. Kind of just do 3 stripes in no particular area, you know. This is such a good foundation stick. I feel like this is the product I recommend the most to people. It doesn't matter what skin type you have. It just works really, really well. Going in with the Merit One brush. Now this foundation stick, it doubles up as a concealer. So if you really just want to use it to spot conceal, you can. It blends like a dream. It does not crease. It provides you with as much coverage as you want. So if you want a little bit, you can get a little bit. It's very buildable. I love this because it doesn't matter how hot and humid it gets in Florida. It never budges. It never sinks into fine lines. It doesn't start to break up. The finish of this is very natural. It's not a matte foundation by any means. And to be quite frank, I really don't know how they managed to execute such an amazing product, but they really did a good job. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit over my nose because I have some redness, you know, from all the tissues. I'm gonna add a little bit more under my eyes because you can really tell that I'm not feeling well today. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder on the camera and I'm like, whoa girl, we need a little bit of extra help today. But I'm filming this because I have a very busy work week this week. I travel for work, for those of you who don't know. So I will not be here to be able to film any kind of content from home. And I really wanted you guys to get my 2 cents on these lip liners because I have been so excited about these since they teased them last year around the holidays. Next up, I'm going in with the Merit bronzer in the color Clay, and I'm using my Westman Atelier contour stick to contour my face very minimally. We're just gonna blend that out. By the way, I've gotten a couple of comments on the Merit earrings that I picked up. They asking me if I like them, if they were good quality. They're very good quality. I use them all the time. I love that it's a staple piece that will elevate any look without it looking too fancy. I use them for work all the time and I get a lot of compliments on their organic shape. However, they are weighty, so if you can't wear heavy earrings, they are weighty, so do keep that in mind. They don't hurt. I mean, they're not so heavy that it'll hurt your ear. They're just a little heavy. Next, we're going in with some Clay. I'm a little bit more generous with the bronzer because I need a lot of color and pick me up today, guys. I just want you to understand what's happening right now. I'm wearing an undershirt with a cashmere cardigan from Quince. This is the cropped. I know I'm gonna get questions on this because every time I wear this one, somebody always comments asking me what it is. This is a cropped cashmere sweater from Quince, and it's in the color oatmeal, I think. And it's 80 degrees outside. I'm wearing a cashmere cardigan and it's 80 degrees outside, but I am cold. That's why I know I have some kind of low-grade fever. My eyes are so hot. Is anybody eyes, like when I know I'm getting a fever when my eyelids start to get steamy. But that's good. That means my body is fighting off whatever infection I got, which of course was compliments of my toddler. She's always very giving that way. I had been dodging her for about 2.5 weeks now, and I had managed to escape. And yesterday we're, you know, in the throes of potty training, and I let my guard down, guys. I let my guard down, and she sneezed in my mouth. She sneezed in my mouth. That's disgusting, isn't it? I know. But you know what? All my parents out there, you know how it is. I was talking to her, helping her to concentrate on, you know, going to the potty, the whole thing. And in the middle of my conversation, it just came out of nowhere. She just sneezed, and I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. But you know what? I tried to just write it off and be like, it's all in my mind. It's not. Here we are. So Merit recently sent me this color terracotta. This was discontinued, and it had such a cult following that they had to bring it back by popular demand. So this is the most nude neutral blush they have. So they recently sent this to me, and I'm happy that they did, because I have every single shade from their blush line. And this one, for some reason, wasn't included in that bonbon set. And I'm almost wondering if it was because it was launched after. Because it's not a new shade, but it went away and then they brought it back. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but terracotta is such a beautiful shade. And I know why people were so upset. It's that perfect everyday blush that you really, it's very effortless. And on some skin tones, I feel like this can kind of double up as a bronzer situation, depending on how fair you are. But I personally love this shade. It's absolutely stunning. And it's one of those shades you never have to think about. You know it's always gonna look good. I'm just gonna go in a little bit more with my brush, and I'm using a BK Beauty 109 brush. And just gonna build it up just a little bit more. If you like a balmy kind of blush, then this is gonna be for you. As somebody with combination oily skin, I really only use these in the winter time, because during the summer, these are a little too dewy for me. I find that they work really well with the Merit foundation, because it almost starts to sink into the skin, and it creates almost like a stain where truly, like, nobody would know you're wearing blush. And I love that you have the option to do a wash of color or build them up. So that's also a really nice perk. Next, I'm gonna go in with the color, the Merit single shade in Vachetta, and I'm just gonna apply this all over my lid. This, if you have light to medium skin tone, Vachetta is one of those really versatile eyeshadows, because you can use it as a base for almost anything. Going in with my Merit #2 brush, you can use this as a base for quite literally anything. It's very neutral in nature, and it's one of those colors that's very appropriate for all year round, and it caters to a lot of different undertones. I would say out of all the colors they have, I think Vachetta is the most friendly across the board. To all skin tones. I feel like it's one of those weird chameleon shades that just does very well with deep tones, deep rich skin tones, or medium, light, fair. It's a very middle of the road shade. You can wear it alone. It matches with everything, or you can use it as a base for other eyeshadows, which is what we're gonna do today. So I'm actually going to use Urban Decay's Moon Dust shadow, and this is in the color Solstice. This is a single shade that I recently picked up, and it's absolutely stunning. It gives those beautiful lilac-y vibes. And I love layering it over literally any eyeshadow. It just takes it to the next level. It's that beautiful. So I went ahead and I wiped my Merit brush onto a microfiber towel that I have here, and I'm just gonna pick up a very little amount of this shade because a little bit goes a long way. You don't get fallout with this shade. And these Merit shadows, for those of you who don't know, once they set, they do not budge. And I have fairly oily eyelids, and I don't even have to use primer with the Merit single shadows. I have a total of 4 colors, and I actually 4, no 5. I have 5 colors. I have used them all. I mean, Glacé is on its last leg. That was another limited edition holiday release that we never saw again. And I'm hoping that this year they are going to give us single eyeshadows in the shimmery shades like that, because everybody went crazy for Glacé. It was a very cool toned champagne color that you could use by itself or as a topper, and I use it as both. Very versatile, another very versatile shade. But I'm hoping that these shimmer shade slicks are a foreshadowing of the shimmer version of the single shadow pots. Anybody else? Anybody else feeling like we're getting hints here? No, just me, wishful thinking. Now with pro tip here, not that I'm a pro makeup artist, but here's a tip. If you have this brush and you use it with your Merit shadows, but you hate that it dries crusty on the brush because it is a cream shadow, after you use it, I always have either a little tiny little makeup eraser or a little microfiber towel, and I wipe my brush immediately after I'm done using it, put it in my makeup bag, and it's like brand new the next day. That's how I do it. If you don't want to use your fingers, some of you are preferred to use your fingers, and that's great. But for those of you who don't, if you're a brush girly, try that. It's gonna simplify your life. Going in with my Westman Atelier eyeliner in brown, and we're just gonna line the outer portion of the eye ever so lightly. I have to use a magnifying version of this. You guys, if you guys did not pick up this compact, I mean, I love the fact that we got a bigger compact because I could literally see my entire face very comfortably in this. It looks like a work of art. I love that it matches the earrings almost because it has that organic kind of shape to it. I mean, anybody else feel like Merit does an extremely good job at executing their collaborations? Everything is always such great quality. They're never jipping you. I feel like they put a lot of thought into what they create. Going in with the brow gel in light brown. And now let's get into these lip swatches. So the colors I picked up: Mayfair, Coupe, and Bespoke. And let's go ahead and open these babies. This is what they look like, and they come in the box. This is the box. And then on the inside is this gorgeous pencil. On the back, you have the name. And on the bottom, they put, I don't know, the camera's gonna pick this up, but they put a little sticker on the bottom so that you can differentiate what colors. Very helpful. On the bottom of this pencil, you have a sharpener. And the mechanism of this pencil is a twist so that you don't need to sharpen it. Anybody else hate carrying a separate sharpener? I've literally stopped buying pencil lip liners because it doesn't matter where you keep it, it's always gonna dirty the inside of your handbag. So it does have this twist up mechanical situation, and there is the lip liner. The actual material of the pencil is like this brushed gold, and you have merits ever so slightly in a matte version right in the center. Very subtle, very chic. So we're gonna swipe all the shades. So let's go with Bespoke. So this is one layer, and you can build it up. So see how it starts to get darker. Now this is not new to me. Remember, I own the original lip liner that they had launched, so I already knew. I'm already familiar with the formula, but I find these colors to be more opaque than the one that I have. So the next one I'm swatching is Coupe, and it does have a gel-like consistency, which I feel sets them apart from most lip liners. It glides on the lip, and there really is no tugging because of that gel consistency. This one is Mayfair. It's the last one I'm swatching. So let's go ahead and swatch the shade Slick I picked up really quick. This is in Twin Set, and it's this cool toned mauve-y kind of shade, and you can see the shimmers in there. I will say the shimmer is barely noticeable. So if you like shimmer but you don't want it to be too prominent, this is for you. So this is one layer of that shade Slick. You see how you can barely see the shimmer in that? I'm gonna build this up. And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this may be the same formula, but it doesn't feel like the same formula as their shade Slicks. This is not as slippy as their gelées or their original colors. So here it is built up. You can see the shimmer is barely there. It's really finely milled. So let's go ahead and try on the lip liners before we get into the shade Slick. So I wanna start with the lightest color, which is gonna be Bespoke. So let's apply this all over the lid. So let's go ahead and line my lips with this. Isn't that beautiful? It is a very creamy consistency. You can see though, as I'm gliding it over my lips, there is no tugging. My lips, it's almost like my lips aren't even moving. I'm just gliding it over my lips. This is really nice. Okay. This is Bespoke, and I picked Twin Set because I thought I love a good mauve tone, but I think it's gonna pair really well with these three shades. So let's go in with this. By the way, none of this stuff is scented. This is definitely not the same consistency. This has a different consistency. It's a little thicker, which I actually prefer over the original like slippy formula that they had. Yes, I like that. Not that their original formula is bad. It's actually good. It's effective. It's hydrating. But as a personal preference, I do prefer something a little thicker. And oh, I really like this. I'm gonna have to probably pick up the other three shades. Great. Yes, I like that. I love the way that feels. Yes, I'm very excited. Okay. Now let's go ahead and try on Coupe. So I'm gonna do one swipe because I want you to see the opacity of these. That's one swipe. So depending on what color you get, you're gonna get a lot of color payoff. Another thing with this is, like, as I go over it, they are very easy to blend out onto the lips. You guys see that? Wow. That's really easy to use as a lipstick if you want. You know how people are very into like just filling in their lips right now with lip liner? And it's very moisturizing. It's not dry at all. So again, let's layer this, but here we have Coupe. You know what? I should have filled my lips in with Bespoke. I'll do that after. And you really only need to, these are much more opaque too. I feel like they're slightly, they have a little bit more color than the other, than the original Shade Slicks, which again, I prefer. I promised you I would do Bespoke, fill my lips in with Bespoke, so let's do that. Wow, a little bit really goes a long way. Isn't that beautiful? By the way, I haven't forgotten to put on mascara. I just didn't bring it here, so I'm gonna have to get up at some point and grab it. Let's try on the last color in Mayfair. The mechanism itself, turning them up and down, is very smooth for those of you who are wondering. Shelf life on these is 24 months. All right, love to see it. If you guys don't know, Merit is a clean beauty brand. And I think we all know that most clean beauty brands do not give you a long shelf life. So when I see a shelf life like this on a clean beauty product, I'm all about it. This is one layer. And then let's fill in the lips a little bit. Wow. That's really nice. Honestly, I keep saying that it's a gel consistency because I can't describe it as anything else. It really does feel like a gel consistency. It performs like a gel product would. And so here's Mayfair. Let's go ahead and apply a little bit of this twin set over it. You guys, I am so excited that we have a formula like this added to the line. Now, I don't know if they're changing and this is gonna be the new consistency of the Shade Slicks. I don't know. But it's nice that we all have options, right? Because if I prefer a thicker kind of consistency, I would stick with the shimmers. If you want something a little bit more slippy and lighter, you can go with the original ones. So it's nice to have an option for everybody. Okay, let me put on some Merit mascara because it's really driving me nuts. You guys, I'm so crazy. I did bring the mascara. It was here the entire time. I'm unwell today, clearly, but I'm dedicated, so here I am. This is my Holy Grail mascara. This took over my Chanel mascara. My Chanel, Volume de Chanel mascara used to be my Holy Grail. And this took its place when my daughter was born. I've never looked back. I love a wispy lash, and you can make this as light or as dramatic as you want. And you guys know, if you've been following me for some time, that I don't like tubing mascaras. Somebody had to actually tell me they had to tell me, Isabel, that's a tubing mascara. I was like, no, it's not. I had to read it for myself. And when I first started working with Merit, they had sent me some stuff that they wanted me to try, and they were like, hey, like, you mind trying our stuff and, you know, reviewing it? And I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, somebody had to actually tell me this is a tubing mascara, because it doesn't perform like a tubing mascara. And those of you who've been following for a long time know I don't like tubing mascaras because they're a pain to take off. They get all over your sink and shower. The flakiness, I can't do it. This does not flake. The formula not only gets better over time, but you actually never get that weird dried out situation with this mascara as it gets older. It continues to perform excellent until the very last drop. The only sign you're gonna get from this mascara that it's time to get a new tube is when you've run out. Okay? It's super easy to take off, and you're not left with flakes all over your face or your sink. It just comes off like a regular mascara would. When I tell you, I think this is like the 4th tube or 5th tube I've used. Your girl's never going back. Okay, let's compare these shade slicks. So here I have taupe. I'm gonna swatch it next to Twin Set so you guys can see. So it looks like the opacity is the same. Here we have taupe. But I'm gonna apply this at the bottom lip and Twin Set to the top lip. Okay, I had to apply it all over because I was trying to get a sense of the feeling. So, okay. Yes, the formula is the same. So, you know, the actual motion of the product feels the same, but I think that because since they added shimmer to this one feels a little thicker, just very slightly, very minimal, but I do feel like it's slightly thicker, which I prefer. Now let me compare these two colors. Let's do this one on the bottom. This is taupe. And then Twin Set on the top. Ooh, I'm gonna have to pick up another one of these in a different color. I may pick up that chocolate brown. So opacity is about the same. And you can barely tell that this has shimmer. You have to be up close or direct sunlight has to be hitting you. It is the most beautiful, subtle shimmer. It's not gritty, very finely milled. And when you take it off, you don't get shimmer residue on the lips. You know what I'm talking about? You don't get that with this because I've literally taken it off on camera several times and nothing. Lovely. By the way, these don't sink into fine lines and they don't run. So if you have issues with like the edges of your lips, these are great because they're not going to run anywhere or they're not going to accumulate on the corners of your lips or anything like that. But here are both colors. So taupe is on the bottom, Twin Set is on the top. I mean, and look at my lashes. Okay, now let me bring the original pencil. I have the original Bespoke and 24 months. Wow, okay, I still got it. I still got it. Okay, honestly, sometimes my eyesight, it can surprise me sometimes. I want to compare the original Bespoke to the new one. I'm gonna glide it across all 4 colors. Okay, so I knew it. The original was less pigmented. You had to really get in there with it. So I'm glad that they build upon that because we also don't want a lip liner to be so light that then what's the purpose, you know, like what's the point? So here is the original Bespoke, and here is the new one that just launched. So the colors are essentially the same. I don't really see much of a difference. It's just that the original pencil had a lot less opacity. The actual like formula of it is still that gel consistency, but yes, it was less pigmented. And I will give you the perfect example. I'm gonna do one line of this. Look at it. That's one line right there. You see that? You can barely see it. That's just one line. Let me do one line of the new one so you can see what I'm talking about. You guys see how it's much more pigmented on one swipe. Now watch, I'm gonna do 2 swipes on the new one, and I'm gonna put an extra swipe of the original one. Top is a new one. It's deeper. You get a lot more pigment with the new one, and I love that. You can still get a light application with the new one, but it's not invisible. It's not almost invisible. So I loved that they made their first one and they're like, okay, we're gonna tweak this formula and we're gonna make it perfect. And that is why most of the products, if not all products that Merit launches, they execute extremely well. They take their time before they release. It's not launch after launch. They know what they're doing. Again, another really good and well executed product from Merit. Congratulations, you guys knocked it out of the park with these lip liners. I am so excited to continue to use them, and I am so excited. We have a shimmery version of the Shade Slicks, and I love that this formula is a little bit thicker, and so I'm gonna have to pick up another color of this. I have an affiliate link in the comments section below if you guys choose to pick up any of the products I mentioned in this video. I'm eternally grateful for those of you who choose to shop via my affiliate link. You don't have to. You're more than welcome to shop on your own elsewhere. Totally get it. But thank you to those of you who choose to use that link. And before we leave, I want to go ahead and put on some fragrance. I have gotten some comments and questions about this fragrance. This is the travel version of their retrospect fragrance, and people were saying and asking me if this was different than the perfume because they were hearing people say that it didn't smell the same as the full bottle. And we're just gonna use this as fragrance of the day for today. And I don't know what they're talking about. This smells exactly the same on me. I get the same longevity. I even made sure to look up whether this was a Lestrade as well. And it is. It says this is a Lestrade de Parfum, just like the original bottle. I don't notice a difference in scent or longevity. So for those of you who are wondering, and this wasn't sent to me, I bought this myself. So I bought the lip liners. I buy most of my Merit products myself, but this performs just as good. And I love that I have a travel version because I keep this one in my purse. I just keep it in the box because it's glass, so I feel like it provides a little bit more protection for it. I would hate for this to get crushed in my handbag. So all right, you guys, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I appreciate your time today. Thank you for putting up with my nasally tone. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's the only other social media platform I am currently active on. And have a good weekend. Bye.